brought some tea because I'm giving you tea. Hey, my name is Nana Onyambura Theory. A few disclaimers. All of this happened in 2015. So, like, I'm over it. I've healed. I'm no longer in that pain anymore. So I went to Alliance Girls High School, class of 2015. Everyone there called me Nana, so I knew me as Nana Theory. Hey, we went to Alliance together. Hey. I was really good at Alliance. So let's start the story with in Form 1 when I went. I had technically failed my KCSE, KCPE, so I've always been a high achiever. Every school I have ever been in, I've never been like, they used to rank us. I don't know if they rank anymore. It used to be number 1, 2, or 3. So then when I in KCPE, I got up to 10. For a lot of people, that's like, wow, you got above 400. But for me, I'd failed. Like, you know, like, what was the point of studying? So in Form 1, I didn't give a rat's ass about studying. I didn't give a shit about my grades in Form 1. And then I got suspended Form 2 first term. Why did I get suspended? I was making noise in chapel. At the time, our principal, Mrs. Kamwelu, mad respect, but she was suspending people left, right, center. So then after I came home, that was just like my come to Jesus moment. So I was like, well, I need to get back. I need to get back on track. Because in Form 1, like, I was not anywhere near the top. Like, I didn't even, you know, I was in class, but I wasn't even paying attention. Because I was like, what's the point? What's the point? I failed KCP already. But the suspension was like a nice, you know, get it together, man. So I got suspended, and then I came back to school, and I was, you know, I was paying attention. I've never been one to like really study. If you looked at me and you're like, teach me your ways, I don't know. I just get things really quickly, which is a gift that I was given. So people would come and be like, teach me this, and like, I don't know how to teach you. For me, it just makes sense. Forgive me. Especially math. Me and math have been BFFs like this. Since Form 2, I don't think I got anything less than a 90%. Because in Form 4, I was just getting hundreds like that. But I was so unhappy there. Anytime it was opening day, we leave the house like this, and my dad is driving me to school. My dad and mom used to bring me to school together. I would be crying the entire way there. Sometimes I pretend that, oh, my dad made me get late, that's why I'm crying. But at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I just used to cry. And then we get there, and we sit at the parade ground, and I'm just sobbing. And mom is crying with me, and we're both like, why are we crying? Turns out I was just so unhappy. Why was I unhappy? Because I was trying to fit myself in a box. So at the time when I was at Alliance, I don't know if it's the same thing. Also, forgive this. My dad is building a house, and like fixtures have not been done yet. Yeah, at the time that I was at Alliance, CU was the thing. It was the coolest thing. So for me, I joined CU to fit in. Okay, for context, my dad has been a pastor for as long as I've been alive. But me, I wasn't about church like that. I've never been about church like that until at Alliance. And so I like minimized everything else about me to fit in this tiny little Christian box they ask you to fit in. And honestly, I thought that I was gonna get, you know, CU leadership, because I did everything they wanted me to do, but I still didn't get it. So I guess these are the, like, first signs that this is not like the place for me. And man, I was done, you know, never missed to miss any CU. They had like a mass choir, and I could have sung in the school choir, but I was like, no, mass choir is the cooler one, because even our principal, Mrs. Kamwelu, was OG Christian. So like CU was the place to be at Alliance between 2012 and 2015. I don't know if that changed. If that changed, I'm happy for you, man. I'm so happy. And then I got sick. I'm a big fan of Swiri, and Swiri usually says that, like, dis-ease is what causes, like, you're not being at ease with your body is what causes, like, physical, with your spirit causes physical illness. And I 100% believe that, because in Form 3, I was constipated. I mean, I was constipated the whole time as at Alliance, but it like reached its peak in Form 3. And I used to go to the bathroom and leave like a liter of blood. Anytime I poop, I leave a liter of blood in the toilet. It was scary. It was so scary. And in addition to me being just so unhappy there and crying anytime I'm going back to school and me being sick, my dad wanted to track me from Alliance. But logically, even me, I was like, how are you tracking me from Alliance? Why are you taking me? I Not alliance. But it was a really tough time. But I remember in Form 3 third term, I had a surgery. So I was home, surgery just to fix constipation. If you want that story time, another video. I spent half of the semester, half of the term in school, and the other half I was at home recovering from surgery and whatever. And like, this was the first time we were doing a MOOC. We did a mini MOOC. And also, even when I was at school, I was sick. I couldn't even, like, constipation is rough, my guy. I couldn't even sit in class properly. I was like always at the sanatorium, like morning and evening I'd sit in a salt bath. So I wasn't concentrating in school at all. But guess who flexed? I came back, and then like a month later we were doing mini MOOCs, and I got an A. I was the only one who got an A in that exam. And even me, I was like, ish, Naomi, chill. You know, because I wasn't even trying. I was just trying to recover from my surgery, and here I am getting this A. But that was just, like, it was expected. Like, you knew time, like, prize giving. Every end of term was to have like a closing ceremony, and then like there'd be prizes and certificates given, and like I used to get them. It was expected. Even we used to start sitting karibu tuna, like the exit, because we all know that I'm gonna call my name. So see, we just now I'm flexing. Anyway, KCSE came around, and I did KCSE in 2015, and this was the year when cheating was at its peak. It was so high that our exams were on TV the night before we were supposed to do them. But I've always been a person of integrity. I don't lie. Like, if you watch Lucifer, the show, I'm like him, I don't lie. I am like my word. You can hold my, integrity is very important to me. And then in addition to all of this, like, I should have logically thought that if people are cheating, they have the exam beforehand. There's no way I'm going to like beat them, right? And you know, like, I've always been a high achiever, so you see, I'm used to this. And then this takes me back to another point, Christian brainwashing. They used to tell us this is like a tiny group of people who didn't cheat at Alliance. It's like 20, it was tough. Like, we were bullied for not cheating. Like, we even stopped studying in our classes. We used to study in like a computer lab. It's called the ICT lab. It was really nice, had nice chairs and everything. But you see, even like getting that special treatment is making, and for context, again, our principal was Christian. She didn't want anything to do with that. So the people who are cheating were doing it behind the school's back. So the school had our back. So you see, it's just like conflict, and even till today, there's like a lot of beef. Honestly, I don't care. No one is asking me for my KCSE results right now, so I don't care if like your friendship ended because of that time. Like, honestly, it's in the past. But what they were telling us was, we'll be like they called us chariots. There's a story, Elijah and a king. I don't know what this king's name is, and they were supposed to go in one direction. The king was on his chariots with horses, with mini, and then Elijah was on foot. And Elijah ran, and he got to the destination the first. I remember the story because they kept telling us over and over again, don't give up, don't give up. You'll be like Elijah. You will run on foot, and you will beat them. But like, logically, like using our brains, if someone has the exam beforehand, before they sit, how do we? You know, and I'm just laughing at myself because I believed it. I believed it 100%. German was like, languages at the time were like the first few exams that you do. So at the time, the cheating had not like, shaken very well. I ended up being like the top in German in the country. Like, my name would have been there, you'd have seen me on TV being the boy. So this is the context I have in my brain. KCSE results come out. I get an A-. My heart was broken. My heart was completely broken because Form 3 and Form 4, I never got an A-. I always got an A. And like, I can see how that makes no sense to a lot of people, but you see, you know yourself and you know what you expect. They don't give us the details of how they graded that exam doing, because it was just like, they should have told us we just stop and we start over. So, no, I was not the only one heartbroken. My parents had a lot of faith in me, especially my dad. So even his heart was broken and he wanted me to go back to Alliance and repeat and get an A, because he knew I was capable of an A. And right now, it's just like, I got an A minus. A minus. It's just like a qualifier. It was still an A, right? But that caused a lot of problems at home. My mom and I moved out for a little bit. And my parents were talking about divorce. I was looking for an apartment where we could all, like my brothers and I could live, because my parents were separating for real. And also, in the background of all of this happening with my parents, I lost all the faith I had in God. And you see, that's everything I had dedicated myself to. Like in Form 4, I used to wake up at 4 a.m. The 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. I'm just praying by myself. 5 a.m. I go to morning devotion. Never missed a day, Monday to Friday. And then after that, I'd go and I was a house captain and like do the house captain things at 6. So you see how I had given myself fully to God. And like, what? Why would you not? Why would you do this to me, man? So everything I knew was falling apart. My dad was disowning me on the side. God, like, just like, right now I'm like, it's the Christian God, because I still believe in God. The Christian God had just let me down on this other side. So you see, like, I was just broken. I had the dreams of, becoming an engineer, but because so many people got A's, I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it to engineering school. Everything I knew, just like my life completely fell apart. So of course I was suicidal. And it was such a tough time. Like, all of this is happening and I have no will to live. I'm just crying constantly. And then Equity came in. Equity became my saving grace. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please turn on the notification bell for part 2, which is dropping on Wednesday, March the 1st. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to enjoy this other one linked in the cards. I installed my logs by myself. Thank you.